What is going on, guys? Jack here, and welcome back to episode number 54 of The Climb, here with Luzenac. Today, we are back for a Nice game against Nice. That was Move on. Yes, today a big game though in the context of our season. In our pursuit of Champions League football, Nice are one of a few teams who are very likely to stand in our way, and in fact, right now they are hot on our heels. Predicted to finish 8th, they're currently in 7th. Meanwhile for us, we've gone on a good run since we were last here. We are currently up in 4th place, although there has been a degree of inconsistency which has kind of plagued us for the last couple of years. So, well, let's talk about the results before we talk about goings on off the pitch. And well, as you can see here, since that game against Hertha Berlin, that 7-0 victory, what a win that was. We've played a massive wad of games over the last kind of 2 months, really. I got in one of those grooves with Football Manager where you just play and you can't really stop. And, well, it wasn't all plain sailing, put it that way. So anyway, off the back of the 7-0 win, you might hope that we'd get some momentum, and we did. We took on Montpellier and won 2-1. Barry Marsden and Marlon Adriano with the goals. You can probably imagine those goals. I don't need to show you them. The two centre-backs getting them. But yeah, a good little fight back. Was interesting as well to see Hal, our former man, playing for Montpellier in this game. We then took on Stade Rennais, a team who were going very, very strong in the league, and they looked ferocious in this game. It took a penalty in the 84th minute to break the deadlock. It was Kofi with it, although Sesko was in the penalty area, and then off the bench, Julian Blaise came, smashed it into the top left corner. 2-0 it finished, and well, 2-0 kind of flattered us. It looks more convincing than it was, put it that way. In the Europa League, we unfortunately couldn't match the previous 7-0 drubbing of Hertha Berlin away from home, although we did win 2-1, that was a nice result there, but it did follow by 3 losses in a row, or with 3 losses in a row. English is hard, isn't it? Yeah, these were disappointing. We lost to Lens 3-1, that is one where I don't even have an excuse, we just weren't good enough, frankly. The very next game as well against Lille, again, conceding 3 goals. This time we scored 2, but yeah, very late goals for Lille swung the game in their favour. We took the lead in this game via Lopez. Mousset then got them off the mark with a decent effort, to be fair for him, to make it 1-1 at the break. Lille, of course, a team who are right up there in France, one of the bigger teams, but at home you'd hope that we could do it against them. And when Lopez scored his second of the game with a fortuitous bounce to him, you thought maybe that was that. But unfortunately, it wasn't. John Joe Kenny, rather, scored in the 86th minute to make it 2-2. And with that, in a fit of rage, I went very attacking. I threw men forward, and they scored again in the 93rd minute. It was one of those ones where I've gone chasing it, and I should have just maybe settled for the draw. It finished 3-2 to Lille, another defeat. And following on from that, we lost against Besiktas. Yes, 94 away fans making the trip to Turkey. So yeah, I'm going to blame the supporters for that one. They didn't turn up. The next game against Toulouse, they did turn up though. It was, of course, our local derby of sorts against Toulouse. We won it 3-1, and in fact in this game we went 3-0 up. I'm not going to show all of the highlights. I'll show our goals. We don't need to see their goal at the end. Some really nice ones here though in the space of about 12 minutes. Sesko with the first, which was decent. Antonio Bras there as well with the second goal of the game. What I believe may be his first ever senior goal, at least for us. So a massive landmark for him. And then Kene, just continuing on with his goal-scoring ways, ladies and gentlemen. Kene has become a goal-scorer. The Segundo Volante has found his shooting boots this year, and well, 3-1 it finished in the end. They did get that late consolation, but the job was done, and well, the job has continued to be done in the month of December. A 4-0 win, followed by a 5-0 win. Huge results against Bordeaux and Stade Brest. You can see here the goal scorers, a nice variety of them. Lopez, though, has been an ever-present part of the team, getting on the score sheet fairly frequently. And, well, most recently, we took on Fiorentina, which was the final game of the Europa League group stage, if I'm not mistaken. By this point, we already knew we were top of the group, so I kind of just rotated the team a load, and that kind of showed by the fact that we went 2-0 down inside the first 15 minutes. An absolute disaster. It was a bit of a nightmare start, and it didn't really get much better until the last 5 minutes. Ortiz with a bolt from the blue from range, a crazy effort from the Mexican, and then Kofi with a back post header. Not too long later, Gajic with the ball into the box. Kofi was there lurking. 2 goals in the space of a minute saw us take a share of the spoils. And yeah, as I said, that was the final Europa League game. We knew that we were already through and top of the group before that match, so it did open up the opportunity to rotate things. Here is how the group finished. Our goal difference massively propped up by that win last time out against Hertha Berlin. But the great news for us is we get our first seed spot, and we're into the knockouts, everyone. So rejoice. We've got reason to celebrate. There will be more European football coming later on this year. As for the league form, as you've seen, it's been pretty hit and miss. if we just look at the league itself, it paints a picture. We've got a game in hand here, which if we win could see us go 1 point behind Marseille. Worth noting that Nancy, who you might remember spanked us on the opening day of the season, they're up in second. They're absolutely insane, apparently. A win here for us could be very, very good. It would help us extend our lead at the top. A defeat here in Nice would be in with a chance of leapfrogging us. And a win here would actually take us more than 4 points clear of Lille, which I would quite like, to be honest, to go a little further ahead and get that cushion, I suppose, onto the teams outside of the Champions League spot. So that's the aim here. Of course, we're coming up to the halfway point in the season. December is upon us. And, well, you can see here, we've got 67 million in the bank. A fair bit of wage budget, some transfer budget as well. Alright, but they might give me a little bit more, to be honest, because there's so much money kicking around. But I have already been looking at players with contracts expiring at the end of the year as possible new additions to the team. Just mass scouting all the players with less than 6 months on their contracts. You know, the players who we can assign or afford to sign on freebies. There's some okay players in this list, so keep an eye. We may dip into the transfer market in January. I don't intend to dive head first because I've learnt my lesson there, really. We've done too much diving into the transfer market, and it has cost us on more than one occasion. Just in terms of team news, you would at a glance look at it and go, well, there's been a distinct lack of injuries, Jack. You must have been going pretty well. To be honest, injuries have been pretty bad for us this year, and that is maybe a little odd to say, but you're going to look here through the month of November, we had, 9 injuries through the month of December, a handful as well. We've not had a settled starting 11 throughout this whole run of games, and I think I will, pin the blame on that for perhaps why we had that little kind of slip up midway through November. But as I said, the great news is for us right now, the team's coming back and pretty much at full strength. You can see here the average ratings, at least for the starting 11, are very, very promising indeed. And across the board, we just look like a team in form, a team finding their groove going into December. And so a win here is pretty important. It's the final game of the game week. Everyone else in the league has played. In terms of team selection, we're going to go with the team that you know and love, the team that we've been playing a lot. You can see, though, there has been a fair whack of rotation. Harvey Elliott started 10 games. Huskeric just started 7. Gadget just started 9. His goal scoring has slowed down just a little bit. He started off so hot, and since then it's not been so super hot. But yeah, the rest of the team, to be honest, on the whole, is looking superb. But even Galvez on a 7.49 at right back has looked pretty nice, to the point where there's an argument to suggest maybe he should start over Sardella. But of course, Sardella, new to the team, had a bit of a disrupted kind of transition, I suppose, into first-team football with all the injuries he's had and various kind of misdemeanours. He has been suspended, I think. I'm just saying he's a naughty boy, basically. But ultimately, the long and short of it is, we're at full strength today. We're taking on Nice. And as I said at the top of the episode, I'm hoping for a Nice result today. Let's do this. Let's see how we get on. I feel like, we're through almost the halfway point of the season here, and it's been a very good season so far. Last couple of years, we've had kind of a month or two where we completely collapsed. And whilst, obviously, last month we did lose 3 in a row, 2 of which were in the league, the main thing has been that hasn't kind of bled into an extended run of poor form. We've turned it around pretty well. We come into this game pretty hot as well, with those big wins against the likes of Bordeaux, who are not a pushover of a team by any means. So I will desperately hope that today we're going to get some more results, get some more goals. Kofi has been developing well. Lopez, as I mentioned earlier, he's been getting on the score sheets. I'm almost expectant, although Sesko has been a little quiet. But as I mentioned, Gadget just played. Gadget just started games. He's not doing it, everyone. He's just not done it. He's peaked too soon in his career. I will hope that he's not going to be like a Makeda style player where he scored those 2 goals in one game and he never scores again. Anyway, 40 minutes gone, and this is the dread. Oh, okay, there's a chance. Ari in, it's headed away. Brass, what can you do, Antonio? He puts it back wide to Ari. Ari whips into the mixer. Kene's there, and Noan Kene scores his 5th goal of the season. What I was about to say was, I was worried that this was going to turn into one of those games where we just can't find a breakthrough, and it's the dreaded game for a YouTuber who covers Football Manager, where you just have a game where no highlights happen. But we do break the deadlock. It was from the corner technically, although not perhaps in the way you expect us to score from the corners. Barry Marsden and Marlon Antonio, Marlon Adriano, just a little bit confused in the middle as to how the balls ended up in the back of their net, not off their foreheads. Anyway, at the break, it's 1-0. We can celebrate that. We can give the players a little bit of praise, I think. And, hopefully we're going to do as well in this second half. I say that, straight away they have a highlight. Have we got complacent, everyone? Have we just given it up? Chris, Switches it over to Emerson, who whips into Tedic. It's headed away. The ball now brought forward by Kofi, who lumps it to Sesko. He's through on goal. Can he score? He's running in. He cuts inside. He hits it, unfortunately, straight into the keeper's arms there. And it remains 1-0. Although, another chance here. Felipe Jonathan, the captain, a player who has been a big standout player this year. I feel like he's done really well in the live comms. I've seen the Felipe Jonathan kind of fan club slowly building up momentum in the comment section. And to be fair, he's been very, very good at left-back for us. Can he put in a tackle here? Of course he can. Unfortunately, the ball does break free, although we win it again. We're battling in the midfield and winning it. A rather ambitious ball forward there to Sesko. Was never going to get to that one. But he's going to try, Sesko. He's going to run. He's like an otter. I was going to say he's like a beaver, but I've used the beaver analogy before in a previous... I think it was in a Towler episode. I talked all about beavers and their work rates. Sesko's like an otter. I think otters have good work rate. I don't know. Oh, Emerson scores. I shouldn't be talking about otters. Although, I will say, have you seen the videos on YouTube of otters that stack cups? I know this is a massive tangent. If you've not seen it, I will try and remember to link one in the description of the video. Like, watching otters stack cups is perhaps my favourite pastime at the moment. It inspires me. Tomov, I wish you would be inspired too, to be fair. It was quite a good header, wasn't it, by the right back? Right, instead of talking about otters stacking cups, Jack, you should probably get shouty. And I'm going to. I wanted to let that long throw play out just in case. But ultimately, the ball is now with Nice. They've got a goal to their name. Momentum perhaps on their side. We need to be ready for a battle here. Brazil bringing the ball forward for Nice. What's he going to do here? He's going to get tackled by Antonio Bras. Of course he is. And then Felipe Jonathan, because he's the best player in the world, is going to pick out a perfect pass to Sesko. Nice build-up play here. What can we make happen in terms of end product? Jonathan again, whipping it in, back post. Ari's there. Ari, I mean, he's bloody good, our captain, isn't he? Signed from Brazil. No Brazilian national team caps. You know, might be some question marks over him. No, make absolutely no mistake. He's a god. He's a god. He's just the perfect wing-back, everyone. And he's put it on Ari's head like, I don't know what he's done it like. Like the precision of a space landing. It's perfect. It's landed on it. I was about to say we have liftoff, but that's the reverse. The ball has ended up in the back of the net. It's 2-1. I'll tell you what, we're going on tangents today, everyone, but would you have it any other way? Kofi, you've been awful, mate. Huskaric, come on down. We'll move Ortiz, I think, as well, into the centre attack in mid-position. Lopez has been quiet today. Let's bring on some of our quality on off the bench that we possess. I would like to extend our goal cushion. On the balance of play, you'd probably say we deserve it, although we've not created enough in the way of clear-cut chances this game. Felipe Jonathan, bringing it forward again. Where are you going, mate? Where are you going? He whips it in, trying to pick out Ari. That wasn't quite as precise as the previous space landing, although it's now with Sardella, the other wing-back. What can he do? He kicks it straight at the defender, but Molon Adriano is there to sweep up the pieces. We go again. Apparently that was a foul. What's happening here? We've had a... I don't know what's happened. We've got a free kick. Ball's whipped in. Molon Adriano. I think VAR just reviewed if it should have been a red card or not, that foul outside the box. Never seen that before. Never seen that. Maybe I should play on more than just key highlights, but that was weird, wasn't it? I was sat hoping a penalty was going to get given. It's usually what happens when VAR is called into action. Ortiz on the volley. Musa with a huge stop there. How is it only a 1-goal lead, though? That's what I'm wondering right now. We've had 21 shots. We've had twice as many shots on target. And there's just no breakthrough to find. Chris bringing the ball forward here. So he's so cool, they just named him after his first name, Chris. Brazil now with the ball in. Don't do this to me, Football Manager. Sadella gets it away. Huskaric, can we break? Run, you little Serbian maestro. Run. Look at him go. Look at him go. Fresh legs on off the bench. Options in the middle. We're streaking forward. And we just give it... Now I'm scared. Now, Goma. Go. Marsden, mate. You've got to run there. Oh, my word. Okay, this is very unconvincing, isn't it? It's still 2-1. I'm not sure how. For a game that had one highlight in the first half, it's burst into life in the second half. 4 minutes left. I want to stay on the front foot. I feel like there's another goal in this for us that would give us assurances. Ari with it. What can he do here? Whips it back post. Huskaric is there. There we go. That's what we wanted. Alexander on off the bench. Only goal number 3 of the season. Ari has gone goal scorer and turned provider. He's been such an imperative player, actually, out on the right-hand side for the last few years, of course. There was quite a lot of big teams interested in him. That interest has cooled, but I would not be surprised to see it reignite come January. And, well, we've got a goal, 3-1. That should be that. And that is a very big win against the team who have been hot on our heels, have very much been battling with us for the Champions League spots. It helps give us a bit of a cushion over Lille as well. And I feel pretty good, everyone. This season's going okay. We're going to be going into January, bit of money in the bank. Ari, are you going to do? I mean, he's bloody good, isn't he? He's a god. He's actually a god. He does that far too often as well. I'm going to be honest. When he has the ball there, I don't expect him to score it, but he just dances past everyone. The number 26. To be fair, the defending is absolutely shocking, but the finish is pretty good. 4-1. I mean, easy, never in doubt. Comfortable victory. To be fair, you've got to look at that save that the keeper made for us, Tomov, at 2-1 to really keep us in it when they got that clear-cut chance. That was a turning point, and well, it turned, and we got the goals. And with that, you can see now, look at that cushion. Oh, I love it. I love it. Despite the fact we've lost 5, we don't look too bad. Unfortunately, PSG are just doing PSG things at the top, so we'll just pretend they don't exist. Nancy are top of the league, Marseille in 3rd, Marseille in 2nd, we're in 3rd. That's how it works, right? Champions League football, though, I think has to be the aim at this halfway point now. We've looked very, very good this year, and that's a huge result. Ari, 2 goals, 2 assists. Give that man a coconut. Give him some cups to stack. He's been very, very good, although that was a bit of just a standout performance in a really, really big game where we perhaps needed someone to stand up and be countered. Anyway, looking further ahead, as I mentioned, the January transfer window is going to be opening up, so expect us to go and sploosh some cash in the market. In terms of when we'll be back, I'm not entirely sure. We've got, obviously, PSG and Lyon we could do as maybe a double-header. Monaco and Nantes could also be kind of big games. I think much of it depends on how much is going on in January to talk about. Although I would quite like to do a little recap of the reserve team and some of the players who have kind of been standout performers, out on loan. And, the players who I'm excited for the future, because there are some of our loanees who have been doing very well this year, developing a lot, and I'm already thinking about how we might need to get them into the team next season. But anyway, guys, that's going to be all from me today. I hope you have enjoyed today's episode. If you had, a like would be super appreciated. I will see you guys again tomorrow. It is me, Jack, and I'll talk to you guys in a bit. I'm out.